recognizing a quorum, I call the May 25th, is it today the 25th?
Yes, it is.
25th meeting of the Wareham Housing Authority to order. Ask everybody to silence their phones, which is in the car, and stand and do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no residences, but we recognize the board and Bob White and Jackie Hickey. Under old business, the first item on the agenda is to review and approve the regular minutes of April the 27th, 2022.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Gene Canone. And the only comment that I think I told Jackie that my name is spelled wrong in the last paragraph.
I got it highlighted.
In on here, I don't know why I never noticed this before. We should mark, minutes should be marked draft, and they're not a true copy of tests until we
Okay.
approve them.
All right.
They're a public record, but they're not official
Okay.
until we amend it.
All right.
And all that stuff. Okay,
Thank you. Okay,
so we have papers to sign, but so take a motion to approve and ratify the signing of warrants and checks and documents that have adequate documentation.
So moved.
Moved by Bill, seconded
Seconded
by
by Gene.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
We've done it.
So
Aye.
carried. What?
We've done it. Right. Oh, not everything.
Yeah, okay, so Chairman has no report, so I'm glad it's nice weather and Gene can join us. How was lunch, Gene?
It was very good.
Where'd you go?
Down to the Fisherman's,
You sandwich.
yes, Fisherman's View down in
Oh,
Salem.
on the canal, yeah, nice, huh?
Yeah.
Expensive too, huh?
Yes, it is.
Not that expensive.
Yeah. No more expensive than any place else today.
No, it is, but it's still good, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Consistent.
Okay, so administrators report.
So we carried 7 vacancies. We will have 1 rented in Wareham and also 1 rented in Redwood too. The F12 is finished in almost 1 more day and it'll be filled. I have a man going in there on Tuesday of next week. And then we have the remaining 5 vacancies. It'll be 5. I have 6 in the report because we have not filled that. Resident applications are 761 and 2808 non-resident applications for a total of 3569. So I've attached the full accounts receivable rent roll each month. We do this rent roll, we balance it to our tenant rents. And then work orders were 7 we opened up, and we completed 21 from 426 to 525. And work orders are 6 remaining, which are 6 work orders of the unit turnovers. So we called 4 companies to give us a quote for tree removals. We received 1 call back so far from Barnes Tree Service. They're not available till July, and he told me he's no longer giving quotes through this time because he has a contract with Eversource. So we are still looking out to try to get, but the word on the street is that they are very busy.
You don't know any tree surgeons or anybody around?
Probably none that she has.
Yeah, Pontiac Barnes.
Usually.
Yeah, we called
Usually-
not your average tree service, Rovery Tree Service, Barnes Tree Service, and Pontiac Tree Service. And Barnes was the only one that called us back.
Okay, I got a neighbor we used in the neighborhood a couple of years. He was qualified, very good. We had the buckets and trucks with good.
Yeah, we had somebody years ago, and I'll check with my husband, I forgot the name of it,
Okay.
but they were very good.
Yeah,
We had a big tree fall in here.
yeah. All right, so we'll keep it a Jackie, and she can track them down. All right, go ahead.
Our truck, a little back, review, we had, a brake problem. They gave us a quote of $4,100, but at the same time, they informed us that it probably, even if we put the $4,100 in, it wouldn't pass inspection because the body has so much rust. It does, it's a 2006, 16 years old. Due to the amount of plowing it does and all the other stuff, and I mean, the seats on the interior are really gone, and the whole thing is really just breaking down right before our eyes. We tried to reach to MXQ to see if they had any stock inventory, they did not. Then we went to Robertson's, they at the time didn't have any. We reached out to one Ford, another Ford place, they said Robertson's gave us the, please look here. They, I didn't hear back from them, but we were going to pursue that. Then we were offered a truck from Robertson's, 2 trucks, they had 2 come in. And maintenance went over and looked at either one of them. One was not suitable for us, it was a smaller pickup truck. And the other one really is suitable for us. So we went and spoke with him and asked them what they could give us. And so just so you can understand, our truck only had 75,000 miles on it because it is only used to go to the dump and back and to plow and go to depot and Lowe's. So it doesn't ever really leave very much. So they're going to, okay, so for 75,000 miles, they're giving us service through 36, full service. Towing, anything that needs to be done, not some parts, but most, all roadside service, oil changes for 3 years, and, or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first. And then, we just, after speaking with them, looking at the truck, speaking to maintenance, it has a lot of things, so like our guys have to put on the sander and take it off, and put on the sander and take it off. This one will have the ability for us to leave the sander on and still use the truck for other things. And, I mean, obviously we would take it off in the summertime, but what they had to manually do is hook it up themselves. So now we have a hookup for it. This comes with a hookup. So we went over and talked to them, and we just thought that the Kelly Blue Book value of this one. So I went on and I looked at, the Kelly Blue Book value in the median range. This was at $48,000, and we're paying $57,000 for it. So I just thought that it was a good deal.
But in addition, this truck is also a dump truck.
Right.
It's
Which
got
we need.
the
Yes.
back goes like this, and they gave us a container-like thing that you put on the back, so it holds more stuff to take to the dump, to Bourne and stuff. And it's only got
56, 790 miles.
5,700 miles on it, so it's.
Why would anybody turn it in that stuff?
That was the question we did not ask.
Yeah, but the guys looked at it. It could
Yeah,
have
they
been
did.
a number of reasons, who knows, maybe the guy couldn't afford to pay. Couldn't
Just
pay.
wondered if anybody had the.
And they might have bought it at an auction. So we
No,
didn't-
no.
They don't buy those at auction?
They do, but
No, this
the question would be the same question.
is a good.
Why was it up for auction?
Yeah, no, it's got it looks good on paper, but.
And the guys have actually
It's a
looked at
bigger
it.
truck and
Yes,
it's
they did look
gonna,
at it.
you can hook up the plow. Our old truck was more of a workhorse because it wasn't the size of this truck.
What is the original manufacturer's warranty? If we're getting 36,000, 6,000, that's 42,000.
Yeah,
If it's 100,000 manufactured.
yeah, I don't know if they got 100,
No. We're getting all of the services. The warranty
like it's.
also is in addition to this.
Okay.
This
the
is like-
manufacturer's
We're
warranty
getting all those,
is additional,
yeah.
or remains in place.
Remains in place.
And plus the additional stuff like roadside service and oil changes.
Regular maintenance.
Yeah.
Regular maintenance.
And that's where we bring the old truck all the time, for all of the maintenance there.
We have never, in the 9 years that I've worked with this truck, ever had to redo something they did. When they fixed it, it was fixed.
Anyhow, so that's that.
Are we looking for a vote on buying this or not?
I suppose we could vote to, for the price stipulated on this, whatever you call this thing.
It's a,
I'm assuming it requires a vote of the board.
Yeah, purchase contract, yeah. So, anybody make a motion to purchase a truck for the price of $57,099 from Robinson's GMC Truck Rimley Highway, stock number 61170. With the listed Silverado, blah, 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 as listed.
Motion, or do you want to do?
I can make. I'll make a motion, of course, we will need to adjust the delivery date, I gather.
Right, yeah. We haven't got it yet.
oh yeah, the May 19th one? Yeah, no, we don't have that car
That
yet.
was when they went there. the guys
That's-
went
I think they needed to do this to hold it and lock it, because they are holding it.
So move purchase.
there. Okay.
As stated.
I'll second.
Second. Any further discussion on, but it'd be good if you could verify.
All of those numbers, he said he would
No,
put it,
the, whatever you look up on the, what do you
The
look up to
Carfax?
find out Carfax, find
Yeah.
out why the truck
they
is.
gave us, let me just see if they have,
What was your question? Find out why it's up for sale, or why it's traded in with only 6,000 miles on it?
I'm so sorry, here it is.
Yeah, that's all. You could call the guy and ask him to show you.
Yeah, it was in Michigan, I mean.
It was in Michigan?
Yeah, it came from Michigan.
There are weird people in Michigan.
Anyway, if you could, confirm or find out or whatever.
Listed as a dealer, it was an auto auction, it was a dealer truck from Michigan, and it never was held by any private owner.
Where are you in there?
It's in the Carfax, right here. You can go down right here.
Did we have that?
Yeah, right here.
No, you have, it. We don't.
No, you do not have it. I realized as we were talking that we do have, it has a certified pre-owned vehicle. Thing with it. It was registered for business purposes, first owner, the owner. So this is it, if you want to take a look at that. Well, right now, those are the owners, and they're just. Like Berger Ford and Michigan too.
Oh, yeah, that's
Everett Chevrolet or Benton AI, that's Arizona,
Oh.
right?
Yeah,
Al is
Arkansas.
Arizona?
AZ is Arizona.
AK
So
is
AI
last.
is Alabama?
No, AR is
Arkansas.
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 Went from Michigan to Arkansas?
I don't
Well,
see
it was kind of created probably in Michigan, right? No? Where are they built?
Grand Rapids,
Right.
Michigan, so, yeah, anyway, it's, maybe it was used to transport illegal aliens or something, I don't know.
Wait,
From Michigan to Arkansas?
Arkansas? Yeah.
We don't know where
Well,
to
they
start.
send them every, usually they send them by plane, I mean,
No, they haven't. But anyway, if you can just check
Yeah,
whatever,
I would definitely, yeah,
Carfax,
yeah, Carfax, we can pull Carfax for any vehicle, including our own.
average miles for the years was 3,800. So it's a 62-year-old car, right?
Right.
It's 2020, yeah.
Yeah, 96 months or 80,000 miles. Is the,
That's the warranty?
yeah, that's all on here, 49 months left on the 72 months corrosion. Basic 36 months, drivetrain 60 months, emissions 96, roadside assistance. Yeah, so that's all in there. Just if you can get more details on it. If they drove it, they would have more miles on it instead of trucking it. I hope we didn't buy a lemon.
Well, no, I mean, there are vehicles that they sell discounted, so if Subaru made 100 X, you know, they sit in the lot, they don't want them to sit there, they sell them off an auction.
Right, well,
Cheaper, just to get their money back.
Yeah, they gotta get-
That's why, that's kind of a good
you
deal.
can't hold them, you can't just sit
They
on
wanna
them.
get rid of their cars that they don't sell.
sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, and it's like I say, it's a lot bigger vehicle than the one we have.
We're certainly not using as much gas as most people.
That's for sure, yeah.
Is the vehicle here?
In Robertson?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist. But something we don't even know.
Oh, no, I didn't know if it's still in Arkansas or something.
No, it's here.
They personally, Ted and,
They bought it.
and what's his name?
Yeah, Dennis and
Dennis.
Paul went and looked at it.
Oh, Dennis, Ted, we all saw it.
Yeah, they did, they all
It's
saw
not in a garage.
it. It wasn't in her, it wasn't in her.
What's this?
That's the car.
That's the
factory.
car.
Oh, okay.
The car information. She used to pick up marathoners off the road.
Super plug.
Anyway, so go ahead.
So annual agreed upon procedures, spoke to Mike Flaherty, he's the CPA that has done ours in the past. He will be doing, I did, please exchange it, it's FY 20 and FY 21, not FY 19 and 20. And that's our, yeah, so FY 24 and 25 award letters. They are pages 9 and 10. These are the award letters that, that come in every year. After we do the CIP, we go through that motion where we discuss what projects you want in the next 5 years. And these are just the award letters. And because I did not give them to you, they no longer come via email, they come in a portal with CapHub. So when I found them, I said, okay. And then the next thing is the ARPA funds, American Rescue Plan Act. In addition to our formula funding awards of $191,825 for 24 and 24 and 25, we received this additional funding of $191,825. And we need to allocate it, to decide how the board wants to allocate it. So because we need $350,000 for the sewer lines, I spoke to somebody, Fatima Razik, in DHCD, who is the construction capital development director. asking her if we could use the 57,000 of this 191 towards the vehicle. And then the remaining funds for the sewer lines. So we have the 67,350 for the sewer lines. So the remaining 139,000 of the ARPA funds after we take out 57,000. So if we could, and they are checking to see if we can use the funds to purchase the truck. That,
If it comes out close to what the money is, so we might be lucky if they let us use that money on the truck. Otherwise, we'll have to use it out of our budget as an extraordinary exemption, and we're gonna get some more money from the subsidy when? This year?
in June,
What do we owe,
July.
40,000?
we're 54,000.
So it's all in the ballpark.
Or, so getting back to the remaining amount for the sewer amount. So after we apply whatever ARPA funds we can apply, plus the 67,000, we are going to apply for emergency funding for the remaining amount of money. So
From DHC.
from DHCD, she said she would work on that and that she would be amenable to that.
Hmm.
So.
Amazing.
Yeah.
After 6 years
Yes.
of banging your head against the
Horror
wall.
show.
So we're really,
Thank God for I'd like to see, how we had have a hearing and have a capital improvement and annual plan and everything. I'd like to see the American Rescue Plan. I'd like to see that. Are we rescued yet? We spent $10 trillion, but we're not rescued
yeah,
yet.
Massachusetts got 150 million from the American Rescue Plan Act. That was, I'm sorry. They got 5 billion, and out of the 5 billion, 150 million went to the local housing authorities.
And a lot went to
And
this.
even us?
Yeah.
Including us.
We got the 191, including us. Yeah,
And then a lot went to the cities and towns,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're all rolling in dough.
yeah.
And nobody's working.
And nobody's working and there's no food,
No formula.
no gas.
Yeah. So
Well, there's plenty of gas on
it's a
your
lot of
pay.
money.
Okay, sorry.
Are we
interrupted.
okay with moving forward with those items,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
So then, so we have a regional, number 18 is the Regional Legal Services Program for State Aided Housing Programs. This is the participation agreement. So our regional attorney retired in September, and they have went out and we agreed that Curly and Curly were a good fit. They were the most qualified, least expensive.
Local.
Was that
Hingham.
And local.
Larry and Curly, was it?
Larry and Curly.
Larry and
Yeah.
Curly.
That would help us with any of our legal,
Mostly evictions.
mostly tenant issues,
Court-related evictions.
court-related tenant issues. We get allocated $3,600 a year from the state to use for legal funding.
That's nothing.
It is nothing.
And you can use that up in 110.
You can use that up in one tenant.
It's crazy.
So they realize that it's not
One day.
perfect.
Yeah, 1 day.
They do realize that it isn't perfect. We still can hire other attorneys to do other things. We're not locked into this agreement. Just we're acknowledging. It's more of an acknowledgement that we understand their parameters, and there are certain things like this attorney can't do. But mainly it's tort law and housing authority board members arguing about who's right and who's wrong. Other disputes amongst housing authorities, so it goes on and on and on.
What are you talking about?
This is
Oh, there's a whole
the whole
page,
list
there's a whole page
on
full of
page
stuff.
3.
Page, yeah, 2.2.2, water and legal services, A through K.
I just found it.
No personnel employment
Resolve
matters.
disputes among the board.
Yeah.
We
Who thinks of
we-
these
we resolve our own. We
Right.
call it voting.
Right.
So if they do this, That helps you out quite a bit when you're going, bringing these people to court.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, it gets time consuming for,
She can't go anymore.
We can't
you
go
gotta
anywhere
hire a
without
lawyer.
an attorney.
They made this rule.
I know.
The
Yeah.
state Supreme Court said you
So
can't
instead of
even-
us
just for eviction, or for non-payment of rent, you gotta hire a lawyer to go into court.
So we had an ongoing case during Pat, the previous attorney. She retires just as it was finishing up. So we couldn't get a court date matched up with her and get everything because of funding. So the person paid off their past due rent. So it's resolved.
Yeah.
We had to pay them $150 so they could go and pull the paperwork, say that we got our money. I was like, why? Can't we tell you when we came to you and said we need you and now we don't need you? So that's the rules.
this is life in the United
They will-
States today.
Don't ever come here, I'm not, the mediators were really unhappy, but we just need an acknowledgement from the board, a vote acknowledging this. Now, I didn't have a chance to
Where
read
are
it all.
Curly and Curly from?
Hingham. They were the closest.
We had a bill from them before, but they sent us a 3-page agreement that had referenced things that weren't in the agreement. Said, sign this referencing this thing, if it's paid, so we sent it back, and I don't know if they ever corrected it.
They
or-
corrected it.
They corrected it.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Okay, so you need a motion?
Okay, so with,
What else?
it just says, by the vote of the board of the Wareham Housing Authority with a principal place of business at 57 Sandwich Road, Wareham, Mass. Housing Authority hereby certifies that it has had an opportunity to review and understand the requirements of the legal program and hereby agrees to abide by the terms of this participation agreement. And if you wanna,
So they have lawyers in Boston that do this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, so we can abide by this to the extent we deem necessary until we vote to not abide by it, you know. So, motion made by
I'll make a motion
Jean,
to approve.
Second.
seconded by Bill, on this date of May 25th, 2022. Chairman of the board and the executive director. Excellent, let me put down whatever you call it. What you
so
say,
you wanna sign your copy?
yeah, like what we said on the minutes, we want to.
Ex officio secretary.
That's what we want, yeah.
Okay.
They
all right.
can't even make up a proper document. because-
And that concludes my, admin report.
Motion to accept the administrator's report.
Seconded by Jean, any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. And we voted on this and we voted on the truck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so, is there any?
Yeah, they just have a couple of some things to go over in the infrastructure report. So,
Is there something we had to look at with, did everybody pay their bill this month? I saw the.
Oh, yeah, that was a list there. She went over that with the
Okay,
tenants.
Yeah.
This here.
good,
yeah,
okay.
we do have some things that have already been cleared up, because
So
this was
we
the end of
we have
April.
to vote on that or no?
No,
No, that's included
that
in
was
the.
part of their administrative.
Okay, good.
So, just to quickly run down the projects that are in motion. So, the C building automatic handicap door, they're still going through some of the, submittals, which are the products being used by the contractor, and deeming out when they can get them. So other than that, that's the only thing that's been moved on from from the last meeting. The exterior upgrades, they decided, DHCD, along with the architect, there are shingles that need to be replaced. That's the only thing other than the bathroom window that hasn't been replaced and the doors that have not been installed. So that's still at a standstill. But they are working with him and trying to get him to get down here and finish up the job. No money has been spent on that project yet. No, not a dime other than the architect's money. The phase 1 of the window replacement. So this last year, I did put in this La Rochelle package right here. So I went back to DHCD again, and I said, this is not, the way you do work change orders. So now, and they were like, well, this is what we do now.
You remember, Bill, you
Right.
said this piece of paper.
Right.
So,
So-
change out, they
right.
said there wasn't
So-
a change out?
Mhm.
During, in Cap Hub, underneath DHCD's authority, so I gave you the whole packet. So the La Rochelle,
Oh, these are the bad guys.
so this, no, these are the good guys.
Oh, these are the good
Yeah.
guys, okay.
FRG is the bad guy. So the grand total of this change, because of the window cost increase, was 32,046.11. So this is when they first submitted it back in February. They said, this is not a change order, you need to go back and do a change order. So they submitted this in response to this letter. And then this next page, page number 3 here in this packet, is what it looks like in Cap Hub. This is the DHCD's website, the construction website.
And it looks
So this right here, page number 20,
I'm looking for the,
number 20,
okay, this
Okay.
here.
right here, so page number 3 of that packet. This is, so the change, so in their document, they call it a change order, okay? And I then go down and then I print off these 2 documents that are in the change order website. Okay, so,
So this thing here, with the up and down arrows, it says change out proposal request form 37-317042.
so when they call it that, they deem that, and this is their bill from that. So they asked us again, they emailed us and said, could you please have your board vote on this change? So I said, I'll bring it forth to them again, because they're saying, what is giving them the assurance that you're going to pick up the rest of this money? Because that's what a change order is, it's an amendment to the budget. And they
It's
said,
amendment
we
to the
will.
contract.
It's amendment to the contract.
Yeah, right.
Yes, which amends the budget, so you're absolutely right. So they just said, please have them vote. It's like talking to a wall.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna print off everything and show them that it's on your website and you agreed to it.
So how much is the contract?
It's 173, oh, okay, so that's what we don't have here.
And that's,
Okay, so hold on one second. Right up at the very this page on page 3, Bob, it has a contract amount.
Let's see. Is that one that says opening design bid?
See where it says proposed?
Oh, 200.
Yeah.
232,400
Right
is
now.
the approved form.
Because his portion of it was 173.5, and he's looking for the 32 more.
Which is gonna add to that.
that doesn't add up, first of all.
That
It
doesn't
does-
make
it doesn't.
sense, what you just said.
Right, so I actually don't have everything right away, so let me just, yeah, so but you gotta understand that proposed bond amount, that's based on what, his bid, plus all the architect and engineering costs and administrative fee. So I can actually print off the whole, see at the very set, page 2 of that, page 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, at the very top, you see those, all of that, the budget line item, I did not print off for you. So it shows the budget line item. They do not have this 32,000 in that amount at the top, because you have not agreed to acknowledge that. So they haven't put that in these 2 numbers up here.
So we don't see what it is until after this.
No, I could have given you the budget and then you would have seen the numbers, because it includes everything. It includes a legal fee, it includes, so they put this budget together based on what they allocated 5 years ago. So we now have to change that budget because we're asking for them to do that. So I don't have the exact numbers, but in the budget, in that budget line item is many, many other things. Like they always put in a little bit of money for, they put in administrative costs, they put in the architect design fee, and then
Yeah.
they parse out.
That's the budget
Right,
for the project.
right.
And it includes contingency and other
Yes.
things. Where is the contract that this changes? This change.
Okay, so that's what, it's included in that number, Because the numbers
Well,
at the top of the
no,
total,
Where is the contract?
You
the
mean
contract is
in
in this website
okay,
that I did not print off.
so is it urgent that, can you get that printed so we
Yeah, I
can,
can do that.
we
I
can
can
follow,
actually,
we
yeah,
can follow the contract and
Yep.
see how much it was and how much it's gonna go up because of the 30,000?
And the new contract amount will be,
Yeah, includes this, yeah. And they give you all this shit and it doesn't say anything?
well, it was my fault, no, because I really could have done that and I didn't. So I'm glad, thank you for showing me that, because I will do that. I will print off these so you guys can have that. This is called CAPA.
That's what Bill said a month ago.
Well, I'm sorry,
See,
I'm a slow learner.
he said, this is nothing, this.
Well, that was nothing,
It's
that's
a piece of
why I where's the
It's
change
still a
order?
piece of paper.
Need
General
contract.
So if you get the contract and you were to email it to us,
Oh, I can at least
can
leave it.
we vote by,
Well, we can
Voicemail?
vote on it now,
I
subject.
basically have no problem with the change order,
Just
but I
want-
just have no idea what it relates to.
Yeah, so we can make a motion to approve the change order subject to
And,
getting,
and if they're entitled to it too.
yeah, usually
Just
that's,
because the price of the windows went up doesn't mean they're
Well,
entitled to
it was-
it under the contract.
yeah, usually it's signed off by the
By the
architect or somebody that
Well,
says
that's,
the work
this
was done and they should get it.
well, no, the work hasn't been done yet, we haven't got the windows yet,
Well, then
but,
they should say, we propose this is the new price because of the cost of the windows or whatever. There's none of that stuff.
well, it's in this website. That's what I was trying to, let's see, all of this communication, there's a.
No wonder the world's screwed up, you
Well,
know?
I'm
That's
just
the
telling you,
federal
we will figure this out, okay, so
Federal
we will make a
government.
motion,
They were requested to submit their change order proposal in CAPA.
and they did.
Okay, and that's what I'm seeing.
That's what the page number 1 is. This page number 1 is their
This is
change.
This is CAPA?
This is, all of this was in CAPA. Both, every communication you have from the, so I gave you the Cap Hub on the page 3 on, where it says project number 317042. The first 2 pages were the
Okay.
communication.
It says your attention is directed to Article 8, which clearly spells out the manner in which change estimate may be prepared. This request is not a change order, nor is it a direction to
Right.
consider the revised order.
Right, that's what Jan Booth, yeah, this was, Rob Smith.
Have they approved it?
Yes, so they went in, and you'll see on page, second to the last page of the whole packet, Rob Smith approves the 3/9/22 letter from La Rochelle. So no agenda pending, submitted it. He's the guy from La Rochelle, he submitted it and Rob approved it. And then there's all the communication. So DHCD doesn't approve it until after the board approves it.
Yeah,
So I mean,
it says cancel or reject or approve, but all Bill's saying is it'd be nice to show the paperwork that goes from the original contract, the amendments, the change orders,
yeah,
and the
it
approvals.
is all
by
in
these
here,
people.
it is in this
I'm
CAPA thing.
assuming that it's in this automatic
It's in this
It's in
system.
this system,
program, which is like putting a bag over your head.
Yeah, it's just, but now the world's gotta live like this.
right, but it
as
is,
your permit?
right, so I will run it off and email it.
Makes it
to
a
you.
lot easier to look at.
When
Yeah,
you
you're
run it
right.
off, before you email it, put little check marks that you checked that
I
this is
will.
the beginning, the architect approved this number.
Yeah.
This is the new number for the 31,000.
Oh, cool.
When we look at stuff, you know how it is, we find stuff and say, this don't add up, and this is wrong, and all this shit.
Okay,
There is no company
so we wanna make a motion
to approve
to
a
approve,
$31,000 change to the contract for the windows for the project 317042-CP0001. We wanna see all the relevant it's like buying a truck that you didn't see.
I haven't seen the truck.
We don't know where it is or where it came from. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Another bag over the head.
We're on
Okay.
TV though.
So,
Yeah,
What really amazes me is people sometimes watch us.
Yeah, but they know we're
Oh, they
doing-
do.
They know
Our
we're asking-
residents watch.
We're asking questions, boy.
right, they love it, they love it. That was a great
Is this on
meeting.
Zoom?
No, it's not on Zoom, it's not live.
Oh.
What it is
Let's see,
they'll put it on the Wareham station.
Okay.
And then people, there are a lot of
It's
people.
on,
that enjoy
it's on
watching it.
Elon Musk's satellite.
Okay,
And
so,
Zoom to Russia.
so we did review a little bit of the sewer line issue. With project number 317046, we need a vote of acceptance first of the 67,350. So that is the original. There was no,
But going back to this, we just voted
only
subject to.
contingent on
Yeah, so we
getting
voted subject to,
two. I will.
but we can fill it out after we get all that and we
So
say, yeah,
here's
yeah,
the
yeah.
outrage.
We get
So-
sufficient information.
Going forward, Bob, and I just have to let you know that going forward, everything is going to be done online. So although we take the vote in the board meeting, you and I have to go back to the computer at another date and put everything, because when we had the 67,350, we used to have those paper that we filled out and you said, Wareham Housing Authority voted to accept the increase in our contract for financial assistance
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
capital
So that'll
improvement.
be
That's
online.
all online.
So even though we do it physically, we
Right.
have to do it electronically.
Right, so
So that's all that is an electronic confirmation of what we did.
yes.
Yeah. So,
So, just so you know, going to prepare yourself that we have to go on this website and, it's not a website, it's
computer.
it's a live process. So it isn't like going on and writing a letter like an email and sending it. It's literally, the minute we press submit, they get that copy. It's
Okay.
submitted to their treasurer,
you're tapping into their program.
correct. We share their program.
It's like the science fiction thing 50 years ago.
Yes.
You went
And they
into
put a
you went
caveat.
into the shower and you push the button and you ended up somewhere else.
Right. So we just need a vote to accept the 60, so in order for us to move this project forward, the board has to accept the money,
This is the sewer
the
line. money.
initial 67,000.
Right.
It's just coming out of the 191.
No, that's formula funding money that they gave us,
Different line.
additional money. It's a big puzzle. So we just need a vote to approve that, so then we can go on and do
But
all
we
those.
didn't we approve that already?
We talked about it, but we didn't approve.
We didn't
We
vote?
just talked about the ARPA money, what we're gonna do with the
No,
ARPA.
I mean last month, didn't we approve the 67,000? To go for the sewer line replacement?
We
And
just
then
talked,
we were gonna ask for the rest of the money.
if the board forgives me, we didn't take a single vote for that. That was included in
Oh, it's an independent vote for on this.
independent vote, so.
Okay, so,
So moved.
but we did do it, we
Yes.
did it all, okay, so motion to approve the $67,350 for the sewer line replacement. And then we're gonna get more money, ask them for 190 for the rest, okay, motion moved by Bill, seconded by Gene, discussion, all in favor?
So,
Aye. So that's today's date,
525,
yeah, and we did the truck, and we did this New Rochelle,
okay.
change order.
Long Rochelle.
La Rochelle?
La Rochelle.
New Rochelle's in
So just one more
Where am
thing.
I?
Massachusetts.
Okay, I get one more thing.
So, we talked about, 2 previous board meetings about calculating the amount of empty months that we had total over the 3 years.
Oh, that was, Bill suggested that, yeah.
So in FY11, we had FY20 we had 11 months, in FY21 we had 46 months, in FY22 we had 29 months so far, for a total of 86 months. I took those months divided it by 3, it's 29 months per year, so it's basically 2 units offline per year. So it'll be 6 units over.
Yeah, so that's what we'd be saying, we
That's what we,
bill us for 2 less units.
That would be our case with the sewer.
Yeah, with the sewer, because there's 2
And
units.
Board of Health for that matter.
yes,
Would help, yeah,
I mean,
Why not?
right,
They can only say no.
yeah.
yeah.
But
for
the sewer guys are the
inspection.
ones that give the abatement, I say we could charge for 2 less units a year.
Yeah,
What does the
and,
Board of Health have to do?
well,
They
they,
charge us, what, $100, $125?
Oh.
no, they only charge us 100 for the first one in each development and then 25 for
Oh,
the
okay.
second. So it'll be,
Oh, that's already worth our time.
This is the big money.
so with that,
So that's for the,
that's for the sewer.
that's how you come up with it, and we'll document that, say we have a vacancy rate of 29 months a year.
Have we explored what the process of abatement with the sewer department is?
We started,
Yeah.
that's it going to Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I forget what we started with. We went down there and we talked to them and we asked them. I forget. We asked them number 1 to take off
The community rooms,
community
because
rooms.
that would
This
be
is just an
included.
extension of their houses because it's a
Yeah.
laundry for them. And then there was, oh, shit, I forget. We wrote a letter and I forget what the other issue was. Was that?
And then you were like, we have vacant units, and then we came back, because we were trying, the fees, we were just trying to get away from not paying the fees. The extra fees, and then the interest on the fees that we get charged.
Oh, yeah, the interest and penalties, and late charges and all that stuff. So
I'm sorry?
They did abate the interest.
they said they'd take care of
Yeah,
that.
they said they would.
The guy who talked to the treasurer collector. So because they held up on a permit or something for something.
Right.
Yeah. So that's okay, but he will effectuate that on a regular basis. That, and that he'd alter the billing cycle to be compatible. That's the other thing. We said that we get our revenue on an irregular basis. So instead of hitting us because we're late, let us come up with a payment plan that fits when we get our subsidies, not like this town gets its cherry sheet money or state aid, so that was it. But we'll resurrect that letter just to be sure, and we can follow up with this.
So we had a painter come by, who did a wonderful job. We have railings, and you can even attest to the railings going up the ramp that need to be scraped, repainted. So we found somebody that does a great job, and will charge us $125 for the little, each,
Sharp rails.
yeah, short rails, and then $250. Although we put $275, he quoted me $250 for the big ones. So I'm going to go back and change that. But
This was based on the original.
because
thing when
we
were
have to get a
talking about-
painter,
When we were talking about powder coating, and you said, forget about it, we'll just
right?
have a
But
regular.
then when we
And
analyzed it
then
a little further, we do need these to be done. And what I was suggesting, or through your guidance, I was going to just do a couple of buildings a quarter. So it's not a big hit, not a lot of money, because it would be, 125 times 2, because there's 2 entrances on each building,
Yeah,
2 or
so,
3 buildings a quarter, so we can have them come in and just do it until we get them all done.
yeah, just work out that with him, the schedule, and you said the rate was 125 and 250,
Right.
chatting along, yeah.
Because when you grab them going into a building, I mean, I know that it cringes me when I touch it, and I just think that it's something we need to take care of.
Yeah, and he.
To get out of the slum and blight, those are the things that,
I've seen his work at all of the black railings going into the Alps.
else, he
Oh.
does other,
And he did the fence at the monument at the National Cemetery, all that black stuff, so he's reasonable and he does a good job. It looks like it's powder coated, he does industrial type painting and coating or whatever you wanna call it.
that ends my infrastructure report.
All right, so anything else we need to vote on individually? No, okay, so motion on the infrastructure report.
Motion to accept.
Seconded.
Seconded by Jean. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
And the meeting? You wanna adjourn the meeting?
So, if you could arrange for the guy to bring the truck up to the office and we'll all get in the truck and go for a ride in it and make sure it's there and it works. Oh, they said they'd give us a full tank of gas too.
And a full tank of gas. I was like, yes,
Oh, that, how big's the tank?
big.
It's a big tank.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not,
And I was like,
it's not
that's a
diesel,
couple
it's not
hundred.
diesel either.
And they took $500 off the cost.
Yeah, 600, wasn't it?
No, 5.
I don't know.
Was it five? It was five.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, it was
Well, and we
$500.
got
And we dusted.
1,000 for the old truck.
And we got 1,000 for the old truck, which is really
Anyway.
the tires. That's the only thing that's worth anything on that truck was the tires. The guys
Well,
really
they're
did good.
probably worth more than $1,000.
Oh, the tires?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 4 tires. They're good tires, but they don't fit, because I was gonna say,
He
put
said,
them
let's
on
switch
the old,
the
put them
tires.
on the new truck.
They're like,
They're
no.
smaller
it's-
tires.
They're smaller tires.
So this truck is heavier duty, it'll push snow better than everything else. If it exists. All right.
So,
Snow.
Next meeting.
So
yes,
schedule
let me
next
write
meeting.
it down.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
so,
on vacation on the suggested date here.
okay.
Go ahead.
So, the next meeting would be the 22nd of June, but you're on vacation?
I am on vacation.
So you wanna do the 29th?
29th, would work for me.
Okay. What about you, Jean?
I'm just trying to find the,
Is that a Wednesday?
Yes, it is a
Those
Wednesday.
are both Wednesdays, yes.
Is that gonna be?
Sounds good enough, I mean, I don't project.
so this
that.
is June, right?
Yeah.
This is June.
June 29th.
29th.
No, it didn't go to June like I asked it to. Okay, I understand. It's June 29th. Okay, and that's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay,
And what time?
and what time, so I know? I never would have been late had I known
That's
it was
okay.
at 3
3
o'clock.
o'clock?
Okay,
3 o'clock, okay.
yeah, as long as I know, I
You'll be
didn't
through
know.
lunch by then.
Hmm?
We'll meet at the
Yeah.
beach shack or whatever you go to for lunch. What was it called?
Fisherman's Pier,
Fisherman.
Fisherman's View.
Fishing
Yeah.
Pier, you're right.
I'm sorry.
We can go to the Pilot House, which is right across the way. So 4:50 adjourn?
Now? Yeah.